prepare to race onto the field. Everything is riding on this football game. So there's a special intensity, a special urgency. Here come the Volunteers. Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Fulky here. I just want to give a shout out to Boogie Bentley, Dauber, and the Indie Kid over at the Talkin Vols Network on YouTube. Keep doing your thing, guys. Go Vols.
Welcome to the Talkin Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley, and we're going to talk about Mike Farrell over at Rivals.com. Completely disrespects the Volunteers with his prediction for 2021. We'll take a look at it. We'll get into it. But as always, do me a favor, guys. Drop down just below this video. Click that like button. Hit that little thumbs up. We would greatly appreciate that. Also, if you are new to the Talkin Vols Network, welcome on in. We are three dudes that love Tennessee athletics. We're not insiders or experts. We are fans just like you. But if you'll go ahead and subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop new content. Things are getting ready to kick into high gear. Look, we're a week into fall practice, and it is go time. We will be dropping the Jeremy Pruitt era of the Fall of the Vols series on Tuesday. Then we're going to be going live on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time to put a positive twist on this Fall of the Vols series. It's time to get positive. We're going to talk about the rise of the Vols and what Josh Heupel has to do to get Tennessee football back where it belongs. But again, just a reminder, that live stream will be Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then we're going to be going live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. moving forward. So tune in, subscribe, all that good stuff. But let's get into it. What is this about? It is Rivals national columnist makes disastrous prediction for Tennessee Vols in 2021. This is kind of a hit piece, not really a hit piece. It's just Zach Reagan over at A to Z Sports putting a little clickbait article together. I figured we would take a look at it because I think this is completely a lack of respect. It is a lack of respect for the talent on this football team, the coaches in that locker room. I think Tennessee deserves more than this, but let's take a look at it and see what was said. The article says Tennessee Vol fans, including Boogie Bentley, probably aren't going to be a fan of Rivals national columnist Mike Farrell after reading his latest prediction for UT football in 2021. And I know, predictions they're fun to do. We've done it before on this channel already leading into this season. Most of you guys know where I stand. I believe this team finishes 6-6, but I ask you to let me know, hit the comment section. What do you think? What is your prediction for 2021? Now, that said, before we really get into what Mike Farrell said, what his predictions are, this team could win 3 games. This team could win 9 or 10 games. There are so many unknowns going into this season. Who wins the quarterback position? If it's Joe Milton, is he able to, people want to talk about what he did at Michigan. Is he able to put that in the past? Can Josh Heupel get him going in the right direction? If it's Harrison Bailey, are we going to see that Peyton Manning-esque Harrison Bailey that everybody believes is there? Once you solve the problems at the quarterback position, what about the defense? What is this Tim Banks defense going to look? There are so many changes on all 3 levels to that defense. Are they going to hold up? How are they going to hold up with this offense going fast-paced on the other side? Going to put them in some bad positions at times. So when you look at it, so many unknowns going in. But I think when you go back to last year, when you go back to 2020, you looked at Tennessee opened the season by beating South Carolina and Missouri, and they put a beating on Vanderbilt. That's an all-SEC schedule where Tennessee goes 3-7. Yeah, 3-7 is not where you want to be. That is not where you want to be. But typically, Tennessee would have had 4 non-conference games. So if you win those 4 non-conference games, you're looking at a 7-win season, not where you want to be. But this team was not a 3-7 team. I think too many people look at it, say a team that won 3 games a year ago. I think this team has way more talent than a 3-7 season showed. And not only that, we've talked at length about the nightmare of leadership, the firing your defensive line coach in the 4th game of the season, rumors of fights in the locker room between coaches. That leadership was a disaster last year. Now, you sure you can throw it back at me? You can talk about, everybody that left in the transfer portal. And yes, Tennessee lost a lot of talent, but I think Josh Heupel did a good job going into that transfer portal and kind of filling some of those holes. Let's go on. And let's see what Mike Farrell said. It says Farrell revealed his SEC predictions this week, and he doesn't think Josh Heupel is going to win many games in his first season as Tennessee's head coach. It says the Rivals national columnist has the Vols going 4-8 in 2021 and finishing 6th in the SEC East, just ahead of Vanderbilt. So again, you look back to last season. They beat South Carolina and Missouri both. But Mike Farrell doesn't think they can do it again. The only team he has predicted to finish lower in the SEC East, Vanderbilt. I think Missouri has a lot of question marks on the offensive side of the ball. I think they've got a good quarterback coming back, but as far as across the board, they got a lot of question marks too. And again, you're talking about a team that Tennessee beat last season. When you look at his prediction to finish 4-8, what are the 4 wins? Let's take a look at what he said along with his prediction. This is from the article, the prediction from Mike Farrell. It says, while there's still some good players left on this roster, with a lot of upheaval in the program that occurred in the past 12 months, there's been a big talent drain and uphill battle ahead for new coach Josh Heupel. One of the biggest remaining questions is what on earth is happening at quarterback? Let's go ahead and unpack what he said about the quarterback position, then we'll go back and kind of take it all in. He says Harrison Bailey should be the starter. Boy, a lot of you guys in the comments are going to like that comment. Harrison Bailey should be the starter, but the Vols have brought in 2 other guys via the portal with starting experience, Joe Milton and Hendon Hooker. They've got 2 solid pieces on the offensive line in Cade Mays and Darnell Wright, but they're definitely lacking at the skill positions. I disagree wholeheartedly. That comment is uneducated. I don't believe they're lacking at skill positions. He says defensively they're going to need to make big strides, and that's going to be tough considering all the guys they lost in the offseason, and their schedule doesn't do them any favors with crossover matchups with Alabama and Ole Miss. That's a lot to unpack there. I'm going to end up going long. I've been rambling. I'm going to go long with this video. Yes, Tennessee lost a lot of talent to the portal. Sure, that's an obvious. The quarterback position, he says Harrison Bailey should be the starter. If Harrison Bailey wins the job, let's go. I think the quarterback, you look back at 2020, what was the problem? The problem was not the wide receivers. The problem was not the skill position. The problem was Tennessee was a good quarterback away from having a successful season. That's been the ongoing narrative for a few years in Knoxville. They need good quarterback play. I think the quarterback room, regardless of who starts, either one of those guys, you take Harrison Bailey, you take Joe Milton, Hendon Hooker, or even Brian Maurer, and you put him with Coach Josh Heupel, I think you're going to see improvement out of the quarterback room, and that's what Tennessee needs. They are competent quarterback play away from having a successful season last year. So I completely disagree with this comment about the skill position. Tennessee has players at the skill positions. Velus Jones Jr. ready to break out. Called this offense a wide receiver's dream. Jalen Hyatt. We saw Jalen Hyatt absolutely torch an Alabama defender, but he can't get on the field. Why? Another piece of the puzzle that is missing. That is cornbread. Cornbread is gone. There's not going to be any more of this. Well, Jalen Hyatt just torched an Alabama defender, but he ran a wrong route. He took the wrong approach. Some reason these freshmen could not get on the field. I don't know what it was. That's not going to be the problem in 2021. So saying that Tennessee has a lack of talent at the skill position is crazy. I think they have talent at the skill position. You look at the running back room, loaded with talent. Jabari Small, losing Eric Gray stings, but Jabari Small is going to have a solid season. I truly, truly believe that. When I make my prediction, it is not around the lack of skill positions for the Tennessee Volunteers. So when you go on to finish up the article here, Zach Reagan, A to Z Sports, says a 4-8 season is probably the worst case scenario for the Vols in 2021. At minimum, Zach Reagan says Tennessee should beat Bowling Green, Tennessee Tech, South Alabama, and Vanderbilt 100%. I agree. Zach Reagan is spot on right here. Tennessee should win those 4 games. So you're looking at the bare minimum there. So then it goes on to say games against Pitt, Ole Miss, Missouri, Kentucky, South Carolina. True toss-up games. And I agree. I agree with Zach Reagan here. So what Mike Farrell is saying is out of all those toss-up games, out of Pitt, out of Ole Miss, Missouri, Kentucky, South Carolina, Mike Farrell is saying Tennessee is not going to win a single one of those games. That is where I think this is a complete lack of respect for Josh Heupel in this Tennessee football program. Now, again, don't get it twisted. Don't put words in my mouth. This team could come away with 3 wins. Tennessee could very easily go 3-9. But on the flip side of that, I could see this team, if things are clicking, look at those toss-up games I just rattled off. They can beat Pitt. I expect them to beat Pitt, but I know that is a losable game. Ole Miss, that's going to be a shootout. We all know it's going to be a shootout, fireworks, tons of offense. Which defense can get the job done? That's a winnable game. Tennessee beat Missouri last year. That's a winnable game. Kentucky's it is definitely a toss-up. It's definitely a toss-up. Kentucky seems to have had Tennessee's number lately. Kentucky 5-6 last season, but they also made a lot of changes to that offensive staff. So we'll see how that offense is clicking by the time they take on Tennessee. South Carolina, Tennessee took care of them last year. I think they can do so again. I just don't see, when you're making your prediction on paper, what do you think? Not what's the ceiling, what's not the floor. What is your prediction? I think this team has 6 wins in them. I do not see them losing every single one of those toss-up games. Got fired up, guys. Got fired up. Wanted to drop this video. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you understand what I'm trying to grasp at here? There's a floor, there's a ceiling, but what is your God's honest truth opinion? What is the prediction? How many wins? Do you really think that Farrell is onto something here, that Tennessee can't win a single toss-up game? Yes, we all know this team has some problems, some issues they've got to get fixed. But I just don't think that 4 wins is where this football team ends up in 2021. That's going to wrap it up for this video. Again, drop down in that comment section. Let me know what you think. Make sure you guys smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. This is the Talkin' Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The songs how like me, poets